growth never happens in comfort. A Stoic understands that the human mind prefers safety, laziness, and routine, but greatness lives on the other side of discomfort. To force yourself to grow daily is not about punishment. It is about liberation. Each day presents you with choices: remain as you are, or take one deliberate step toward becoming more than yesterday. A Stoic deliberately chooses the latter. When Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations, he was not writing poetry for pleasure. He was training his mind to see every challenge as an opportunity to sharpen his character. In the same way, forcing yourself to grow every day means willingly embracing the challenges that shape you. If you do not push yourself, the world will push you, and often in ways that break rather than build. Growth must be self-chosen, self-directed, and self-disciplined. Like a blacksmith forging iron, every day you must place yourself in the fire of effort, shaping the steel of your soul. You grow not because it is easy, but because staying the same is far more dangerous. A Stoic life is built on the principle that discomfort is not an enemy but a teacher. When you force yourself to wake up earlier than your body desires, when you study longer than your mind wants, when you train your body even when it resists, you are not just disciplining yourself. You are building resilience. Discomfort reveals your limits, and only by meeting those limits can you expand them. Seneca once wrote that we must not wish for life to be easier, but for ourselves to be stronger. Forcing yourself to grow daily means seeking discomfort willingly, not waiting for life to impose it upon you. Comfort zones are cages decorated with soft pillows and warm blankets, but they keep you small. The Stoic understands that the battlefield of life does not care about comfort. By choosing the harder path each day, whether that is enduring silence instead of reacting with anger, working on a skill instead of wasting hours, or choosing discipline over pleasure, you train yourself to remain unshaken when life inevitably tests you. Motivation is fragile. It appears and disappears like mist in the morning air. Discipline, however, is a fortress. Forcing yourself to grow daily requires discipline, not fleeting motivation. A Stoic does not rely on feeling inspired to act. He acts because action is necessary. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every morning, at dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, the Stoic does not wait for the mood to strike. He knows the duty is clear: grow today, no matter how he feels. Discipline is simply the choice to act consistently with your highest values, even when it is hard, boring, or inconvenient. Every day that you force yourself to study, train, improve, or endure without complaint, you are laying the bricks of an unshakable character. Over weeks and years, this character becomes your greatest strength. In a world ruled by emotions, whims, and laziness, the disciplined Stoic stands like a rock in the storm. Growth without reflection is blind. A Stoic forces himself to pause each day and examine his actions, thoughts, and failures. This reflection is not self-punishment, but self-clarity. At night, before sleep, ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I grow tomorrow? This daily ritual transforms ordinary experiences into lessons. Even mistakes become valuable when examined with honesty. Seneca taught that life is long enough if we use it wisely, but it slips through our fingers if we live without awareness. By reflecting daily, you prevent wasted days from turning into wasted years. Reflection also keeps you humble. It reminds you that no matter how much you have grown, there is still progress to be made. Just as a warrior sharpens his blade before battle, the Stoic sharpens his mind through reflection. Growth, then, is not random but deliberate. It is planned, measured, and reviewed daily, ensuring that each sunrise brings with it a chance to be wiser than the last. Growth is rarely the result of giant leaps. It is built upon the quiet discipline of small, daily actions. A Stoic understands that consistency is greater than intensity. You do not become wise by reading one book in a single night. You become wise by reading a little every day. You do not become strong by lifting the heaviest weight once. You grow strong by lifting moderately, repeatedly, with patience. Forcing yourself to grow daily means committing to these small, deliberate actions, even when they seem insignificant. Epictetus once said, "No great thing is created suddenly." The Stoic sees each day as a building block. Alone, a block may look small, but together, they form a temple of strength. Modern minds crave instant results, but Stoicism rejects impatience. A Stoic forces himself to accept the slow pace of real growth because he knows the journey is not about speed but about direction. Growth is inevitable when each day is used wisely. To live as a Stoic is to see every obstacle as fuel for growth. Life throws challenges, failures, and losses at everyone. Most people complain, resist, and wish for an easier path. The Stoic instead asks, "How can this serve me? What strength can I develop here?" Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Forcing yourself to grow daily means reprogramming your mind to embrace obstacles rather than fear them. The loss of a job becomes a lesson in resilience. A betrayal becomes a lesson in self-reliance. Physical pain becomes a test of endurance. This mindset transforms suffering into progress. You cannot control the external world, but you can always control how you interpret it. By forcing yourself to use obstacles as training, you ensure that life cannot defeat you. It can only make you stronger. Growth is not just physical or intellectual. It is emotional. The Stoic trains daily to master his emotions, for an uncontrolled mind is the greatest weakness. Anger, envy, fear, and despair are natural feelings, but the Stoic does not allow them to rule him. Instead, he observes them, understands them, and refuses to be enslaved by them. Forcing yourself to grow every day means choosing calmness in the face of insult, patience in the face of delay, and courage in the face of fear. Emotional mastery is not repression, it is command. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." By controlling your reactions, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Daily practice is required. Pause before speaking in anger. Breathe before reacting in fear. Think before chasing desires. Over time, these practices forge emotional strength. A Stoic who controls his mind controls his world. Not all pain is harmful. In fact, some pain is necessary for growth. The Stoics willingly subjected themselves to discomfort to train their minds for adversity. Musonius Rufus recommended practicing voluntary hardship, sleeping on a hard bed, fasting, walking in the cold, so that when life forced hardship upon them, they would not be broken. Forcing yourself to grow every day means sometimes choosing pain, pushing through one more hour of study, finishing that difficult workout, refusing the easy distraction. Pain becomes a teacher when embraced intentionally. Modern society runs from discomfort, chasing pleasure at every corner, but this only makes people weaker. The Stoic walks the opposite path, using pain to strengthen his endurance. The body becomes tougher, the mind becomes calmer, and the soul becomes freer. Growth cannot exist without pain, but pain used wisely becomes the foundation of unshakable strength. In a world drowning in distractions, focus is rare and valuable. Growth requires not just effort but concentrated effort. The Stoic forces himself daily to guard his attention as a sacred resource. Wasting hours scrolling, gossiping, or chasing shallow entertainment robs you of growth. Marcus Aurelius urged himself to stop being distracted by trifles. Forcing yourself to grow every day means identifying your priorities and committing your energy fully to them. Choose one goal, whether it is writing, training, learning, or building, and pursue it with discipline. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." That means sacrificing popularity trends and temporary pleasures for the sake of focus. Growth comes not from doing everything, but from doing the essential with full attention. The Stoic mind is like a laser, cutting through distraction and illuminating the path to progress. True growth demands resisting the temptations that weaken character. Pleasure is not evil, but when it becomes your master, you lose freedom. The Stoic forces himself to practice moderation and self-control in all things: food, wealth, entertainment, relationships. By denying himself unnecessary indulgence, he strengthens his willpower. Every day presents opportunities to resist temptation, to say no to laziness, to decline harmful habits, to avoid wasting energy on empty pleasures. Seneca warned that indulgence makes us slaves to desire, while self-control makes us kings of ourselves. Forcing yourself to grow every day means embracing the discipline of restraint. Modern culture glorifies instant gratification, but the Stoic glorifies patience and endurance. Growth is not just about adding skills or strength. It is about removing the chains of desire. The less you need, the more powerful you become. Growth is not only about striving forward, it is also about recognizing the blessings already present. Gratitude transforms the mind from scarcity to abundance. A Stoic forces himself daily to reflect on what he already has: health, breath, food, shelter, opportunities. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning to be grateful for simply waking up and having another day to live. Gratitude does not mean complacency. It means acknowledging reality without entitlement. By appreciating what is, you strengthen your capacity to endure what is not. Forcing yourself to grow every day includes forcing yourself to see the good in all circumstances, even the painful ones. Gratitude is fuel for resilience. It keeps you from despair when life is hard and keeps you humble when life is easy. The Stoic grows daily because he does not take a single day for granted. Modern society equates growth with external success, wealth, status, possessions. Stoicism, however, defines growth as inner strength. Forcing yourself to grow every day does not mean chasing endless trophies. It means fortifying your character. A Stoic measures success not by what he owns, but by what he can endure. Can you remain calm when insulted? Can you persist when exhausted? Can you stand firm when others crumble? That is true growth. Seneca wrote, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The Stoic trains himself to detach from external achievements, using them only as tools but never as his identity. By forcing yourself to grow internally every day, you develop the kind of wealth that cannot be stolen, lost, or destroyed: wisdom, resilience, courage, and virtue. This is the growth that truly matters. Growth requires urgency, because time is the one resource you can never replace. A Stoic lives each day with the awareness that life is short. Seneca warned that people are not short on time, they are short on how they use it. Forcing yourself to grow every day means refusing to waste time on trivialities. Each hour should be treated as an investment toward wisdom, strength, or purpose. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of death, not to fear it, but to be motivated by it. Memento mori, remember you must die. With this awareness, you cannot waste time procrastinating. Growth becomes not a vague goal for the future, but an immediate duty. Every day must be lived fully, with discipline and focus, because every day is one step closer to the end. To waste a day is to waste life itself. Failure is not the opposite of growth, it is the path to it. A Stoic embraces failure, because it reveals weaknesses that must be strengthened. Forcing yourself to grow every day means accepting mistakes as lessons. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." Growth requires the humility to be bad at something before you can be good. Modern minds avoid failure out of fear of judgment, but the Stoic uses failure as fuel. Each rejection, loss, or mistake is data. It shows what to adjust, where to improve. A Stoic does not fear failure, he fears wasted potential. Every day, he forces himself to risk small failures in pursuit of big growth. By reframing failure as progress, the Stoic ensures that nothing, neither success nor defeat, can stop his journey of improvement. Growth is not selfish, it extends beyond the self. A Stoic understands that personal development is wasted if it does not serve others. Forcing yourself to grow every day means forcing yourself to give. Whether it is wisdom, kindness, or strength, what you develop must be shared. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about the duty of human beings to serve the common good. Growth is not about becoming a better individual for ego's sake, but about becoming useful to family, society, and humanity. Self-improvement without contribution is empty vanity. Every day, ask, how can my growth benefit others? Perhaps through teaching, supporting, or inspiring. Service gives meaning to growth, and growth strengthens service. Together, they create a life of purpose far beyond selfish ambition. Growth often requires going against the crowd. Most people choose comfort, pleasure, and mediocrity. To force yourself to grow every day is to choose the uncommon path of discipline and resilience. A Stoic accepts that he will be misunderstood, criticized, even mocked for his choices. Epictetus warned that if you want to improve, you must be willing to be laughed at. Growth requires courage to stand alone, to resist conformity, and to follow virtue over popularity. Modern culture worships trends, but the Stoic worships truth. Every day you choose growth, you separate yourself from the masses who waste time, energy, and potential. The courage to be different is the price of true progress. The Stoic pays it gladly, knowing that growth without authenticity is nothing more than imitation. Stoicism teaches alignment with nature. Growth is not forced in contradiction to nature, it is forced in harmony with it. Just as plants grow slowly, patiently, and silently, so too must you. Forcing yourself to grow every day does not mean rushing. It means following the natural rhythm of consistent progress. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the universe as a living organism, with each part fulfilling its role. Growth, then, is fulfilling your natural role to use reason, to act with virtue, and to serve the whole. By studying nature, you learn patience, resilience, and acceptance. A river grows by flowing, a tree grows by standing firm, and you grow by living daily in accordance with wisdom. Growth is natural, but only if you choose to align with the principles of life instead of resisting them. Growth requires resilience, the ability to bend without breaking. A Stoic knows that life will bring storms, losses, and suffering. Forcing yourself to grow every day means practicing resilience daily. You strengthen resilience by enduring small discomforts, facing challenges, and refusing to quit. Marcus Aurelius compared the mind of a Stoic to a rock. When waves crash upon it, it stands unmoved. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to continue despite struggle. Each day that you force yourself to rise after falling, to try again after failing, to remain calm after hardship, you are building resilience. Over time, resilience becomes your natural state. Growth then is not fragile but permanent, because nothing external can destroy it. For Stoics, true growth is not measured by wealth, fame, or power, but by virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Forcing yourself to grow every day means forcing yourself to live according to virtue. Each decision, no matter how small, is an opportunity to practice virtue. Do you act with honesty when lying would be easier? Do you show courage when fear whispers retreat? Do you practice justice when selfishness tempts you? Do you show moderation when desire calls for excess? Virtue is the essence of Stoicism, and growth without virtue is meaningless. Every day that you train your mind, body, and soul in the direction of virtue, you are living as the Stoics lived. Growth, then, is not just about personal progress, but about moral progress. Growth has no final destination. A Stoic understands that the journey of self-improvement lasts until the final breath. Marcus Aurelius, even as Emperor of Rome, wrote daily reminders to himself to be humble, patient, and disciplined. If the most powerful man in the world needed daily growth, so do you. Forcing yourself to grow every day means accepting that you will never arrive. You will always be a student, always in training. This mindset keeps you humble and hungry. Growth is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Each day you force yourself to take one step. No matter how small, you are honoring your duty to yourself, to others, and to life itself. The Stoic lives each day as if it were both his first and his last, eager to learn, willing to endure, and committed to grow.